A land dispute in Kamwesi Sub-County, RUKIGA District, southwestern Uganda, over a 60-hectare piece of land has turned explosive as gangs, armed with machetes and clubs under the protection of security personnel, continue to raid this area.
Because these people were many. They were like around 15 people. For us, we were 3. Now there was no way to do. One of them hit me with the metal in the leg and they broke the leg. Then another one hit me here. Then others also came and started now just beating me.
They did not ask us anything. They brought iron bars and started beating us. We told them we were workers, but they did not listen and kept beating us.
Police officer was standing, people are pushing the fence down. The officer is standing, witnessing what is happening. And after that, he drives himself and goes back to his office.
The people who are there, they are not Ugandans. Some of them are not Ugandans. Others are Congolese in Madam Chibairi's home. Others are Congolese. Others are Rwandese. Others are Bagisus. Others are Batesos. So he brings people from very far.
These 2 young men are nursing severe injuries at a private hospital in Tungamo district after a violent altercation with armed assailants last month. NTV has also seen images of workers at this piece of land who were seriously injured by these gangs. Some are too graphic to publish. Karodi Ewangambire, an elderly man who kept an archive of the migrations and history of this area and lived on the margins of this disputed land, was killed. It is feared that his killing was meant to silence others who may want to speak out.
He was chased from his house. When they chased him, he came running towards our home. And a group of people manhandled him and killed him, hit him with stones on the head until they killed him, packed wood on him, put him in a culvert, and set him on fire.
This row, which has sucked in the State Minister for Lands, Sam Mayanja, and senior police officers in the region.
We went there and it found out that Madam Chibaijire with her people, she had requested for 15 hectares of land to be given a title, and of which was given. But when we went to measure the land she's fencing in that hill, it was over 60 hectares. That's why people are making a lot of noise. People are coming up together, you know.
Is over a 60-hectare piece of land that was initially under the customary tenure but was converted into freehold. Its certificate of title is registered in the name of Valeriano Kibahigire, an ailing 90-year-old man. His daughter, Mary Kibahigire, is the current caretaker on the sprawling piece of land she claims they have lived on for generations, with a homestead, livestock, and burial grounds.
The challenge is, especially girl children, when they go to get married and they fail marriage, they come back home. The land is small and people are very many, so they come to fight on that very land. As you are seeing in this case of Madam Chibaijire, she's a girl child. She's supposed to be on the other side of the husband, but she came back again to fight things for the dad.
She continues to live in fear and revealed that these attacks on her workers, which have increased in frequency and violence, began in 2021.
So during the COVID lockdown, the restrictions to movement, I was called by neighbors telling me that someone had come, he's digging holes in the land, and is trying to plant eucalyptus trees. I could not come over because of the restrictions. I rang the LC1 chairman to help me identify who this person is. And he came and said, I have stopped these people. And actually gave me the identity of another neighbor as the person who was actually doing this.
As caretaker of her frail father's property located in Nyabubari cell, Kibahigire first reported a case of criminal trespass against Henry Kabuza in 2021. She accused him of planting eucalyptus trees on this registered property.
And he said, "This is my property. My family has been here, was here even long before your father was here." And I asked him, "When did my father come here?" He said, "About 60 years ago." I said, "That's what you know?" He said, "Yes, I can see his house. I know, they have told me when it was built. For us, we were here before." I told him, "Gentleman, this has been a property of my family through record time, through generations, for over 100 years. So if you're saying you were here before my father, you should have been here about 200 years ago." So I asked the LC1 chairman, how do we proceed? He said, "Well, I think we are going to kill each other from this land."
Between March and May 2023, she reported at least 6 cases of assault and malicious damage to property to the local Kamwesi police station. But Henry Kabuza accuses the family of Kibahigire of fraudulently acquiring and trespassing on his late father John William Kabuza's land. According to the plaintiff of the civil suit filed at the High Court in Kabale on 3rd May 2022, Kabuza claims that his family occupied this piece of land for 80 years, where they built a house, a Baha'i temple, and planted eucalyptus trees. He's seeking court to grant him orders, including being declared as the rightful owner of the land, and that Kibahigire is declared a trespasser, and to be granted vacant possession of the disputed land, amongst others.
We are not partisan in a land case, but many times we have heard that Mary Kibahigire complains about the leadership being partisan. We are not.
Hiring and using criminal gangs on a routine basis on citizens. And it has gone quiet because the people who are supposed to amplify our voice are the same people who are cushioning these actions.
Resident District Commissioner for RUKIGA District, Fred Nayebare, alleges that during the inspection process before the land was converted into freehold tenure, families that had an interest in the land were not involved. However, a copy of the inspection report indicates that the community and local leaders were present. Section 9 of the Land Act, as amended, provides for the conversion of customary tenure to freehold tenure. Section 9(6) of the Land Act provides that any party aggrieved by the decision of the board may appeal to the Land Tribunal, and the tribunal may confirm, reverse, vary, or modify the decision. Has Kabuza filed a formal complaint to the Land Tribunal? The family of Kibahigire has also sued Kabuza for trespass and is seeking damages for the destruction of property, amongst others. Kabuza, who declined to grant an interview to NTV, has sought the intervention of the State Minister for Lands, Sam Mayanja. In response, Mayanja authored a letter on July 4, 2023, instructing the Acting Commissioner of Land Registration, Beka Mugeno, to cancel the title of Valeriano Kibahigire. It reads, the petitioner alleges that the District Land Board allocated land to Mr. Kibahigire Kambamu Valeriano that was customarily owned and in possession of several people in the community. Relying on legal provisions, Mayanja says Section 59(1)(a) provides that the District Land Board can only allocate the land in the district which is not owned by any person or authority, and Section 59(1)(a) as amended provides that if a District Land Board undertakes any allocation of land in contravention of subsection 1(a) of the Land Act, such a transaction shall be void. The Minister concludes, in view of the allegation in the petition and the reports by the RDC, RUKIGA District, this is to instruct you, the Commissioner, to exercise your mandate under Section 91 of the Land Act to cancel the land titles cited in the petition following the procedures laid down in the law. However, the family of Kibahigire is questioning why the minister issued such an order without granting them the right to be heard, which is against the rules of natural justice. Minister Mayanja could not provide a response as he was away on bereavement leave. But Peter Walubiri, an experienced lawyer, told NTV that just like his predecessor, Ida Nantaba, Mayanja is attempting to usurp the powers of court through illegal pronouncements.
I remember when Nantaba was the Minister of Land, so she went on a spate of the kind of things that Minister Mayanja is doing today. Nantaba tried it. She didn't solve the problem. She compounded it. People started suing her personally until she backed off.
Section 59 read, alongside Section 176 of the Registration of Titles Act, states in part that the certificate of title shall be conclusive evidence of ownership and that a registered proprietor is protected against an action for ejectment except on grounds of fraud. Section 91(2) of the Land Act provides grounds under which the Commissioner can cancel a certificate of title, and these include certificates issued in error, certificates that contain misdescriptions of land and boundaries, and certificates that contain illegal endorsements. This section does not grant the Commissioner powers to cancel titles as a result of fraud. The Supreme Court judgment in the case of Hilda Wilson Namusoke and 3 others versus Owala's Home Investment Trust, decided in 2017, is instructive. It, amongst others, held that the Commission of Land Registration does not have powers to cancel a certificate of title on the grounds of fraud. This decision is based upon the rationale that allocations of fraud are complex and serious in nature, and that they require to be specifically pleaded and strictly proved before a court of law.
Minister per se doesn't have powers. The Commission on Land Registration has limited powers. The minister is abusing his political authority over the commissioner to order the commissioner to abuse his office. And it's not solving any problem. Like I've said, every title that is cancelled ends up in court again.
Kibahigire had earlier on hired private security guards, but were removed on the instruction of the DPC, Hussein Niwagaba.
He deployed the security, Ahmad, it's called Kamad Security Company, and she was using, actually she used those security personnel to grab people's land.
Kibahigire has written a complaint to the Inspector General of Police, Martin Okoth-Ochola, dated January 30th, 2023. She accuses the DPC of bias, incompetence, inciting violence, and giving unlawful orders.
We saw, as a district committee, we decided that you withdraw those security company, otherwise you're going to call the bloodshed. They will come and attack you, these people will end up killing. So that's what we wrote her, that you better withdraw those security guards for the meantime. We shall provide security for you.
It is not the first time Mayanja has issued such orders to cancel land titles. Whereas some may be well-intentioned, lawyers state that they can only take effect if they are anchored on the law.
People have gone to the president's office. The president created some land unit, I think from the days of Mrs. Njuba. I don't know now who manages it. RDCs have also become courts.
In fact, when you cross-check properly, most of them are genuine, but acquired wrongly. You find they are from the rightful officers, but they are forged. The method they use, they never use the procedure of bringing the community, the neighbors, and what not. They hand-pick. Alex, sign for me, so and so. Sometimes they are facilitated monetarily to sign. And then the process continues without the community knowing. And their land goes like that. When you take that one to law, to court, definitely the thief wins.
Ministers, all sorts of public figures try to adjudicate land disputes. But that has not solved the problem, it has compounded it.
According to the judiciary, the chronic problem of case backlog is most severe in land-related cases, where 52% have been pending judgment for at least 2 years.
So even if you have courts, if their judgments cannot be implemented, then people will resort to, you get an arm officer who can come and maybe intermediate.
People have court decisions. You go to court and have a court determination, but these people still edge you out of your land. And the narrative we have now is that Umoro Takoza.
In 2022, Kigezi sub-region, which encompasses RUKIGA district, reported 299 cases of criminal trespass and 303 cases of malicious damage to property, according to the 2022 annual police crime report. Kibahigire's ordeal is shared by others whose accounts are familiar.
I bought my land, and the people who sold this land to me are here. But to my dismay, the town clerk and the mayor are mobilizing people against my interests in the land and intend to turn it into a community land. I went to court against Mishambi Wilson, and when I won, the mayor and town clerk claimed the land was theirs.
When I went to the sub-county, the people I found there were the LC2 chairman, LC1 chairman, LC3, and the sub-county chief. And these are people who know that the land is mine. I also find it difficult to use the land because they had started mobilizing peasants to uproot the trees I had planted.
We need a clear investigation into this land grabbing cartel because it's dead serious. We are far from the center. We are far from the media eye.
Whereas the law should protect indigent litigants who are often victims of mass land evictions across Uganda by those who wield power and influence, it must also offer relief to those who have proprietary rights on land to enjoy quiet possession against fraudsters and encroachers. Decisions to resolve disputes over land ownership are, apart from a few exceptions, only within the purview of courts of law, lawyers argue.